My name is Brett Heyl. I grew up in Vermont. I was a ski racer from age 5, and then when I was about 9, the friends of my parents got me into kayaking on their pond. And kind of, the time came. I chose first kayaking over baseball, and then about 10 years later, kayaking over skiing.
At 26, Heyl is one of the top whitewater kayaker in the world. He has been on the U.S. national team since 2000, finished 8th in the Athens Games in 2004, and placed 2nd in the World Championship this year. But despite all his dedication and hard work, he missed a spot on the Olympic team in Beijing in 2008. Going to the Olympic has been Heyl's dream for as long as he can remember. He wanted to compete as a ski racer first, and then found slalom kayaking to be more appropriate for his body type. No matter the vehicle changed a couple of times, he knew he was born to be an Olympian since he was in elementary school.
The moment where I think when I really knew that that's what I wanted to do was I was in elementary school in Vermont, and our town sent I think it was 2 or 3 athletes to the Winter Olympics. And so we were out on the playground, and they had a gazebo, and they all came, and we wished them good luck, kind of a send-off for them going to the Olympics. And to see them up there, and we were all kids up there worshiping them, and that was when I was kind of like, all right, like that's what I want to do. I want to be on the other side of this. And so getting to go to Athens, it was cool that that part of the dream was fulfilled. And it was only by fulfilling that I realized that the dream was never to go, it was to win. I guess I just like that feeling of being able to sit in the start gate, looking down on the course, and being able to say, all right, this is it, let's do it. And that's where it all kind of comes together. All the workouts, all the training, all the preparation, it's all behind you. And now all that's left is 2 minutes forward, and that's it. I guess I like that.
And to fulfill his dream, he worked pretty hard, putting a degree on hold at George Washington University and moving to Charlotte, North Carolina, to train at the U.S. National Whitewater Center for the Beijing Games in 2008. If only he would not have touched those 2 gates in the last Olympic trial in Germany, he would be in China with his teammates right now. But instead, he's biting the bullet the best he can, recognizing it was not because of lack of training that he missed a spot on the team, but because there were more than enough great paddlers to compete against, and not enough boats allowed in the Olympics.
This year I had the best year of my life, racing all the way through, and I had one run where I hit 2 gates. I was 1 centimeter off line twice. And so I think, if I said it was easy, yeah, I'm just going to move on, that it would be just a straight up lie. Like it's really hard, and sitting here watching, the Olympics are taking over the world for the next month, and it's hard. Every time I see something about Beijing, like I've been there, I've been on the course, I've been to Beijing like 3 times, so I know exactly what, I know what's going on at the Olympics, and it's hard to not be a part of that. But again, it's what can you do? It wasn't like I didn't work hard enough. It wasn't, I didn't do anything wrong. It just, there was 1 spot, and we have a bunch of good paddlers.
But regardless the abundance of great paddlers, this year the International Olympic Committee decided to allow each country to only have 1 boat competing in each event. This was done to implement participation in the games from developing countries, and in slalom kayaking, this meant that Heyl, second only to Scott Parsons, were to stay home and watch the games on TV. But things were not always like that. When U.S. national team coach William Endicott and canoe Olympic gold medalist Joe Jacoby were at the Barcelona Olympic Games in '92, things were just easier.
When I was coach of the team with Joe back in '92, it was 3 boats per nation per event. And that leaves an awful lot more room for 2 good boats from the same country to go. This year, we didn't have any of that.
In the years after Barcelona, in fact, the roaring cost of hosting more sports within the Olympic brought the IOC to restrict the budget allowances for each event, and canoe and kayaking, a newly added sport, not so followed yet, was hit pretty hard.
The costs started climbing as more and more sports got added and so on. So I set a cap. The cap gets spread around all sports. And we got hit with 1 boat per nation per event. So I just wanted to stress how much harder it is just to get into the Olympics now than it used to be.
And Heyl knows how much harder it is to make it into the Olympics nowadays. He has felt it on his own skin, and despite he's trying to stay positive and lick his wounds the best he can, the disappointment is just heavier than he expected.
My disappointment this year is that this is the first, I don't even call it a bump in the road. It's like one of those big concrete barriers that like a Humvee can't pass. Like it's a big, big block in the road that, you know, it's the first time that, you know, I've really felt like things didn't work out.
Yet despite the concrete barrier in the road, Heyl is not quite ready to give up yet. That is why he's thinking ahead to the next Olympics in 2012. And his thought is not only to participate, it's made out of gold.
I don't want to really end on this sour note. You know, I guess I want to go out on my terms, on top. And you know, so for the next 4 years, it's tweaking the process a little bit to see if I can't make the outcome come out the way that I want it to.